Howdy folks, I'm Scoryth, here comes the Renegade. Welcome to a bonus episode of Final Fantasy VII. I loaded up the save before I actually went into the Northern Cave for the final battle and all that stuff. So I loaded up the save here because I want to show you the one thing I forgot to do during the main story that I wanted to do during the main series, but I forgot about it until afterwards. I want to go get Red 13's ultimate weapon. We've gotten everyone else's ultimate weapon up to this point. The only one we haven't gotten yet is Red 13. Now look at there. See a little bit of tail sticking out of the ground? That's going to be weapon. I'm going to ignore him. That's going to be for another bonus episode much later. What we need to do is we need to head to Cosmo Canyon. So we're going to drive right over here. Hop out here, and to avoid any fights, we're going to take the Chocobo over to Cosmo Canyon, hop off the Chocobo, and head right inside. Oh, really? What happened to him? Oh no, that's not good. Something's wrong with Bugenhagen. Let's go check up on him. Obviously, you know where to go. We need to go up to the top floor of the this place over here. So we'll go around here, upstairs, around the candle, up the ladder, and he'll be in his observatory, just like where we met him. Inside here. Climb up here, and here's Bugen. Talk to him real quick. Well, we need to tell Nanaki. We need to tell Red. So what we're going to do, so, whoops, I gotta go up and go back before I can go back down. Well, here's a view that you didn't get to see before. I'm up here on the top of the observatory. Couldn't get to show that before, but climb back down. And I'm going to run downstairs real quick, and I'm going to go get Red 13 from the on the PHS. I want to show what he had to say before you got him. You need to actually go get Red 13 for this in order to get his weapon. So let's go down here, go down to the Tiger Lily shop, and grab him from the PHS. So go down here. You don't actually have to go talk to Bugenhagen before you get Red. You could have Red in order to get his weapon. Regardless, you need to have Red in your party. So you actually have to talk to him first. Let's go here, PHS. Bring in Red. All right. Go back up to the observatory. Climb the ladder. And then we go back in. Cloud realizes he needs some time alone, so we're going to leave him alone. I don't think it's supposed to be an apostrophe there, but I'll let it go. Unfortunately, he passes there. And with that gift, we get Limited Moon, which is Red 13's ultimate weapon. trying to keep a happy mood about it, despite the situation. And that's how you get to his ultimate weapon, Limited Moon. Now, I believe, I don't have my notes with me, but I think that Limited Moon is similar to Cloud's ultimate weapon. I believe that the more HP that Red has, the more damage he'll deal. It's based on his current HP, based on his max HP. So if he's fully healed, he will do more damage than say if he's only got half his health. I believe that's how that works. The other thing that I've mentioned but I haven't shown off yet, I'm actually going to do that real quick here. I'll go and run out here while I talk and see what's going on. I mentioned to you that Yuffie's ultimate weapon, the Conformer, its special ability is the fact that the morph material doesn't penalize you for your doesn't penalize your attack power. If you remember, anybody who uses morph, the attack power is severely reduced, and the attack that you use with morphing has to be the killing blow on an enemy in order to actually successfully morph that target. Well, the Conformer doesn't suffer a penalty. Whatever Yuffie's attack power is, morph will deal that amount of damage. So if you want to stock up on, hey, there's Ruby's moved. He was over there on that side, now he's on this side. If you want to stock up on items that enemies can morph, you need to have Yuffie with a Conformer in your party. The best example of this, for me, at least in my opinion, it's the best example, is over here in Gongaga. So I'm going to set down here, jump off of the Chocobo. I'm stuck in the high wind. I'm going to take out Red, bring in Yuffie, equip her with the Conformer. She already got it. Don't really care about what armor she's got on. I'll give her the Zedrix, it's the strongest one, and up her strength by 10 to make her attacks even more powerful. I think that's the best I can do. Yeah, that'll work. We'll go strength plus 10 on the power wrist, and then he has no. I don't think anybody has morph on him right now. So, yeah, there it is. Okay, morph. All right. Usually when you do a setup like this, you would want to put more materia and have her set up for, ready for combat kind of thing. But just to show off how this works, actually first I'm going to move Morph over to Cloud to show this off. Move Cover and put on Morph, and then I'm going to Gongaga here. Go toward the busted reactor, which is this first path here. And we're going to hang around this area until we encounter that Triceratops tank thing. I think it's just called a heavy tank. This is the enemy we're looking for. Yeah, heavy tank. Alright, I'm going to have Cloud Cloud Morph first. Okay, he uses Morph, and he deals 255 damage. Now let's switch that materia, take it off of Cloud, and move it to Yuffie. Morph. And boom, she deals 5,000 damage. That was actually a critical hit, but that was actually, as you can tell, a much more damage-dealing attack. Cloud only did 200 damage. Yuffie did over 5,000 damage. Again, critical attack, but still, if it wasn't a critical attack, she would have done about 2,500 damage, which is obviously a normal attack for her at this point in the game. And as you see, the item that he turned into was a power source. So you can actually use Yuffie's Conformer with the morph attached to it to farm those power sources. And so I never actually used these sources. I'll go ahead and show you what they are now, since I haven't actually used any of these before, or didn't use any of these during the playthrough. Each of these boosts a certain stat. As you can see, power source raises strength, guard source raises vitality, magic source raises obviously magic power, mind source increases spirit, speed source increases dexterity, and luck source increases your luck. Those are the base 6 stats that your characters have, and each time you use one of these items on a character, it increases that stat by 1 point. So you can, since these power sources increase strength, what you could do is take Yuffie and go after those heavy tanks and just farm for power sources over and over and over again, and you can actually max out everyone's strength stat to the maximum, which is 255. And you should pretty much with any weapon deal the maximum damage, which is 99.99, depending on the target, of course. There are enemies throughout the game. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I'd have to look up some information to find out for sure, because I've never actually gone farming for any of them except the power source. But you can actually go farm for enemies throughout the world that you can use Yuffie's Conformer on and farm for each of these sources. I don't know what all of them are. I just do know that the heavy tank morphs the power source. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and do you a favor. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I'll go get my notes, and I'm going to tell you the location to where you can farm each of these sources if you wanted to. The only reason you would probably want to do this kind of farming in order to max out everybody's stats is if you're probably wanting to take on the optional super bosses. Again, not necessary to take on the optional super bosses with max stats by farming for these sources, but it helps if you really want to. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got a list here of a lot of these. This list isn't a complete list of morph items, because you can morph just about any enemy in the game, with the exception of bosses, I believe. But this list here shows mostly sources here. The heavy tank, which I've already shown you, is a power source. A screamer and Mountain Bell. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the screamer is. I can't click on a link to show you, give a picture or anything. If I find a picture, I'll put it somewhere on the screen up here or whatever. But the screamer and Mountain Bell can also get you a power source. In Mount Corel, the Bangdorana, the four-legged creature, the long neck, on the way to Corel, North Corel, through that mountain, you can morph him for a guard source. Same thing with the spiral in the medial area. The spiral are those large shrimp-looking creatures near medial. They're kind of long. They look like a large shrimp to me, in my opinion. You can get a guard source from morphing those. When you're attacking the Midgar, when you're attacking the Mako cannon, when you're heading to stop Hojo from using the Midgar, the Sister Ray in Midgar, when you're stopping him, the Maximum Chimera, whatever that is, again, something else I don't remember seeing. You can morph that for a guard source. The Armored Golem, I don't think we encountered the Armored Golem during this playthrough, but in the North Cave, there's an enemy there called the Armored Golem. You can morph that for a guard source as well. Probably the easiest ones to morph for guard sources would be the Bangdorana in Bagnadrana. That's really hard to pronounce. In Mount Corel, and the Spiral in Medial. Those are probably the two easiest ways to get guard sources. In the Temple of the Ancients, you can morph the 8-Eye, which I don't even know why that's an option, because you can't even get. You can't. You can get morph, and you get morph in the Temple of the Ancients. So you can morph the 8-Eye, which is that red pile of eyes that instantly dies to if you cast poison on it. That is you can morph that into a magic source. An enemy called Kilbin in the Whirlwind Maze, another enemy I don't think we encountered during the playthrough. You can get a mind source from morphing that. The Unknowns in the Selkirk Nika, those really weird creatures that you can steal some good items off of. You can also morph them for some good sources. You morph an unknown for a power source, the unknown 2 for a guard source, and the unknown 3 for the magic source. If I remember right, the unknown, the first unknown 1, or whatever you want to call it, unknown, I believe is the one that has the tongue attack. It looks kind of like a crab. I think it's got a couple of arms on the side. Unknown 2 is the really tall thing. It kind of looks like a flying kite, if you will, with arms. It has a creepy touch skill whenever you gets a counterattack that puts a sadness on your character. I think that's unknown 2. And then unknown 3 is that looks like a flower with a skull in the middle of it. A really weird looking skull. It has a tongue coming out of its eye or something like that. Something weird like that. I believe that's the unknown 3. The serpent is that really big, huge, long, floating worm thing with the long arms. That's also in the Sunken Guernica. You get a mind source from that. Poodler, which looks like the beach plugs that you can see on the coast of Costa del Sol. Poodler, you can morph into a speed source. Something called a bad rap. I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever seen that. In the Sunken Guernica, I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever seen that. You can morph a luck source off of that. Apparently there's an enemy in the battle square called a Hochu, and it is available only in the battle square on discs 2 and 3, and you can morph that into a ribbon. So if you want more than one ribbon, there's a way to do it. Here is one that I actually haven't done yet, that I wish I remembered to get, because it's actually a really good item. We've run out of Gaga here. I really wish I'd remembered to actually morph this during the playthrough, because it would have really been helpful in certain points. Probably still not, not useless. Probably still somewhat helpful. Get on the bird. Now get on the highway. There we go. I'll probably still morph this and use it in the gold saucer when I want to go get Cloud's Omni Slash later. But if you return to Cactus Island, which is over here, you remember where it is, the island I used to gain limit breaks quickly, you land over here and encounter a Cactuar. Let's ship off the Chocobo, since we can't get encounters while on the Chocobo. Run around here until we encounter one, and we use Yuffie to morph the Cactuar. Come on, where are you Cactuars at? If I didn't want you guys, you would flood me. There you are. Okay. Great. Alright, we hit it that time, but I didn't actually kill it. Okay. There we go. Morph was successful. Change into a Tetra Elemental. There we go. Alright, and as I said, that's an accessory, a very good accessory. One that I want to use, one that I probably will be using at the Gold Saucer. Go down here to Tetra Elemental. It drains fire, cold, lightning, and earth attacks. So, where the Escort Guard here nullifies lightning, earth, water, and poison, the Tetra Elemental absorbs those 4 elements. So that's a very good accessory to have to absorb elemental magic attacks. Fire, ice, lightning, and earth, which are 4 major elements. And also keep this in mind, when you have things like this that says drains, if you are low on HP, or maybe if you're low on HP, and say you're out of curative items, you're out of elixirs, you're out of potions, whatever, and maybe you're on a character that doesn't have a restore materia, which you should if you followed my playthrough, because every character had a restore materia at all times. If for any reason you didn't want or didn't have access to the restore ability, or didn't have curative items, when you have armor or accessories that drain magic abilities, cast those magic abilities on your allies. So if I had the Tetra Elemental attached to Cloud and he was low on health, and let's say Yuffie didn't have any healing magic available to her, but she had, say, the lightning materia on her, I could cast Thundaga on Cloud, and it would heal him just as easily as it would if it was a healing spell. So I keep that in mind. So Tetra Elemental off the Cactuar. I wanted to go ahead and show that off because that's actually a pretty good thing to get. Something called the Mover in the North Cave. I'm not sure what that is. You can morph the Protect Ring off of that, And we do have a Protect Ring. The Protect Ring is actually pretty good defensive armor, or defensive accessory rather. Protect Ring, I think if somebody has a Protect Ring. Okay, maybe they don't. I believe it ups your defense in some way. I think it's like ups your defense by 20 or something. I forget exactly. You can get another ribbon from the Master Tonberry, those little guys in the Northern Cave with the star over their head, the Tonberry with the star over their head, the ones I kept running from and saying "fuck you." Those you can get a ribbon from morphing them. The Iron Man, which I kept calling the Iron Giant, my mistake. They're known as Iron Giants in other games. But the Iron Man, you can morph an Escort Guard off of those, which the Escort Guard is this thing right here. A man's armor nullifies those 4 elements. We already know about the Ghost Ship, because I already told you about that. The Ghost Ship morphs into the Guidebook, which I didn't show out what that Guidebook is for, so let's go ahead and do that real quick in this bonus episode. If you morph the Guidebook, actually before I do that, first of all we're going to go down to the submarine real fast. I'm going to say before I actually get into the submarine, we're going to briefly encounter Emerald Weapon. Briefly, and I mean very briefly. And by very, very briefly I mean we're probably going to encounter it and die in about the same turn. So, let me go ahead and save here real quick and be right back. Okay, I've saved up and we'll jump in the submarine now. And we're going to dive. We're going to intentionally encounter Emerald Weapon. I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to encounter him because I want to show you something specifically. It relates to the Guidebook, so I got to find him first. And of course, when I'm actually looking for him, he's not going to be hovering around the ocean for me to actually bump into. He's going to be hiding somewhere. I don't feel like waiting for him, so I'm going to surface and dive again. And hopefully he'll be floating around here somewhere. Nope, he's not. Alright, surface and dive again. Bitch, you better show up. Make me look like an idiot here. There you are. Alright, we're going to deliberately plow into him, just like we did with Ultimate Weapon. And you see the time in the upper left-hand corner. But since we are underwater, apparently we can hold our breath for at least 20 minutes. Yeah, figure that one out. But we're going to run away because we are frightened. Or we're going to die here, either way. Oh, missed Tifa. Run, Tifa. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, the timer is the most important thing I wanted to show off. Not the fact that Emerald can kick my ass in a couple of turns. He can. I already know that. But that timer, that 20-minute timer, is important. If you do not kill Emerald Weapon with that 20-minute timer, you will get a game over, but essentially because you'll drown. It'll just be a game over because you'll die instantly. Apparently, Cloud and your party members can hold their breath up to 20 minutes, which is damn impressive. So, to prevent that from happening, we're going to get on the ship here. And we have the Guidebook that we morphed from the Ghost Ship back at on the way to the underwater reactor. I showed that off to you. So we need to head to Calm. This is probably the only time you actually go to Calm, and this 2 or 3, depending on when you got the depending on when you got the Guidebook, when you actually feel like going to get it. I'm going to go to Calm. And we're going to visit somebody called the Traveler. No, not like the one from Destiny. We go in this house here. And we go upstairs. We talk to this gentleman over here. The world's changed a lot in the past few days. Yeah. Right. A map that was sunk along with the ship, Guidebook. A rose that blooms once every 1,000 years in the desert, Desert Rose. And a harp that soothes those who hear it, the Earth Harp. Okay, those are three items. They're not key items. They're normal items that you can pick up, and you can get them and bring them to this guy. He will give you a reward for each one of those items. We already have the Guidebook that we got from the Ghost Ship. So let's give him the Guidebook. It's Guidebook. When you trade for this underwater materia, you say trade. And it's done. He's going to go over here and open the chest. Yeah, he's going to walk over there slowly. Pray to that chest. And there it is. And we get the underwater materia. It is a purple materia, because therefore it is a passive materia. And what it does, I'll go down here, underwater, underwater breathing. Simple, straight enough. So what it does, as you see, it requires no AP because all it does is remove the 20-minute countdown timer. It's just that easy. All you do is equip it on any character that's going to be in the party and go fight Emerald, and you will not have a 20-minute timer. That's all it's for. So the guidebook changes into the underwater materia. Now I'll show this off when I actually fight Emerald and Ruby Weapon, and I'll get there eventually. But the other two items that you referred to, the Desert Rose and the Earth Harp, those are gotten from Ruby and Emerald Weapon. Ruby Weapon gives you the Desert Rose, and Emerald Weapon gives you, obviously, the Earth Harp. Now, I forget which order it gives it to you, but if you turn those two items in, he will give you one of two things. I believe if you give him the Desert Rose, he will give you a gold chocobo. You'll just get a free gold chocobo by giving him the Desert Rose. And then if you give him the Earth Harp, he will give you a Master Magic, a Master Summon, and Master Command materia, even if you have not mastered any of those materia before. So that's a quick way to get those materia. The thing is, obviously you have to get by those two optional super bosses. So the rewards are kind of good, but kind of unnecessary, especially the gold chocobo, because if you fought Ruby and Emerald Weapon, you most likely have gone and gotten the Knights of the Round materia, which you can't get unless you already have a gold chocobo. If you manage to, now again, I could get those things backwards. It could be the Earth Heart gives you the chocobo and the Desert Rose gives you the materia. I may get those backwards, but those are the rewards for those two. You get Master Magic, Command, and Summon for one, and you get a gold chocobo for the other. Now again, the gold chocobo, not really that great because you need a gold chocobo to go get the Knights of the Round materia, which you're most likely going to need to fight one of those two. The Master Magic and Master Command materia would be nice. Master Summon, not so much, because, again, in order to fight one of those two, you probably already have Knights of the Round, and Knights of the Round comes on the Master Summon materia. So, nice rewards, but not really helpful in any way, because you've probably already got you've already got some of what those rewards are. So, but at least I've let you know how those work. I can't remember for the life of me what that other thing was that I was going to say. It was something I was going to show off that I also forgot to do during the main Let's Play series, but I still got most of the things. I got one of the things that I really want to do. I want to go ahead and show off the getting Red's ultimate weapon. Showed off the guidebook here because that was an important thing. Again, you need that for Emerald Weapon, and only for Emerald Weapon. That's the only thing it's good for. It's just to fight with Emerald Weapon. That's the only time you fight underwater. It's just against him. Okay. I'm pretty much going to wrap up this episode here. If there's anything that I've again forgotten to show off, I will show off in another bonus episode. The next bonus episode that I'm going to be doing right away is I'm going to show off all of these summons summon material that I've obtained thus far, which I'm pretty sure I have all of them except Knights of the Round. I obviously can't show that off because I don't have it, as I need to get a gold chocobo for it. But the next episode will be a showcase showing just the summons, and then after that I will showcase all the limit breaks. Actually, I have to wait on the limit break one until I get Omni Slash. I want to go ahead and put that one in there as well. So I will, the next episode I'll show off the summons, and that'll be it for a while. So enjoy the summon showcase in the next bonus episode of Final Fantasy VII. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the links in this video for more of my videos. And thanks so much for watching. I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade. I'll see you later.